Hello, everyone. It is Matthew Laborde with Elifin Realty here, and I'm coming to you with a report of insights on the COVID-19 and its effects on the commercial real estate market. All right, so I am here. I am at my computer. I am dialing the phone. I'm calling up clients, investors, owners, landlords of all different commercial property types. I'm calling tenants of all commercial property types. And in addition to that, I'm calling the market players, the contractors, the lenders, the attorneys, government officials, property managers, and other commercial real estate brokers, both in Baton Rouge and across the country. And from those conversations, I'm seeing different themes come into play. And I wanted to stop from those calls, take a second, and just give you the insights that I'm getting on the field, on the ground, in a rapid fire, as best as I can, rapid fire format. Right here for you today. So let's get to it. Overall, the biggest thing I'm getting is uncertainty based off of not knowing the duration of how long this pandemic, this stay-at-home order in Louisiana is going to last, which is affecting the businesses. So if we are truly up and running by Easter or by April 13th, then I think things are going to bounce back, and that seems to be the sentiment there. But not many people think that we'll be back up and running by then. And the longer it lasts, obviously, the more damage it's going to cause, the more pain economically it'll cause, and hopefully it all gets resolved sooner rather than later. Many in a pause while we eagerly seek answers mode. So I put initially a wait and see mode, but not many people are passively waiting and waiting to see what happened. Most people are actively trying to sniff out answers and figure out what's going on and see around the corner so that they can plan and make longer term plans. And it's a difficult thing to do right now, but people are doing it with a sense of urgency. Construction is continuing for the most part. It's a deemed essential services for now, and the only slowdown we're really seeing is if somebody on the crew or a company has coronavirus, or if they're maybe at risk and scared, rightfully so, for their health and staying home. So some people are shorthanded, but right now, for the most part, commercial construction is continuing. The layoffs, though, are real. So whether it's in the hospitality industry, with restaurants, with trade shows, associations, people are getting laid off. I've talked to people getting laid off. We've got an opening here at Elifin Realty for a receptionist position. We've seen an uptick in previous restaurant workers applying, and so people are getting hurt out there, and it's not good, but it is real. It is happening, and it is something to be really concerned about, both on a personal level and a larger impact on our economy. Another trend, small businesses, they have their eyes on the SBA loans. That seems to be a great opportunity that people are eager to take advantage of, and also they are eagerly awaiting to see what's in the final bill that makes it through Congress. Municipalities are all hands on deck, all to varying degrees depending on the level of outbreak in their city or outbreak at the moment in their city. But they are working with businesses, they are working with the hospitals, trying to get capacity, working with businesses, trying to keep them open, trying to encourage everybody to work together and make sure citizens are safe and secure and healthy, and they are working feverishly. All right, let's get to the property types. Retail, this is the biggest focus right now. Retail always seems to be the biggest focus. It is the hot the cool property type. Landlords in general flooded with tenant requests for rent relief from businesses that are not deemed essential services, and they're handling it as best as they can. Typically, if they'll call their lender and ask for some kind of mortgage relief, they'll get it. So one landlord put it best when they said, I'm telling my tenants, if I have to pay, you have to pay, which is a good rule. It's understandable. However, sometimes you can call your lender, and a lot of lenders are being very accommodating. They're giving a 90-day, 6 to 6 month deferral of mortgage payments, no interest payments, and that's allowing some landlords to pass that benefit on to their tenants that are struggling and closed during this time. Next up, grocery stores are doing more business than ever. That is, everybody knows that. Restaurants trying to keep their head above water with to-go, with anything creative that they could think of. And new leases are stalled, for the most part put on hold, but they're not dead, which is good, which is a positive sign. Hopefully a great sign of when this thing clears up, things will continue along the strong pace that we were seeing. That is the hope. Next up, multifamily. All right, cash flow for March, fine, not an issue. But most tenants paid that before the COVID-19 effect really impacted them. Landlords, however, they've got their eye towards, and they are bracing for April 1st. So some workforce housing are going to really struggle on April 1st when they have laid off tenants that are unable to make their rent payment, or just maybe they're able to make it for a month or struggling, but they request some kind of rental relief or assistance to make it through this unprecedented time. So look for April 1st, April through April 10th for that impact on the landlords of multifamily to become more of a direct concern. New leasing has slowed dramatically. Student housing is concerned about when campus is going to open back up. Hopefully it opens by the spring, for the spring semester. We can all hope that, right? All right, next up, office buildings largely empty with the stay-at-home orders in place in states like Louisiana. Rent, though, is still being paid. For the most part, businesses learning to work remotely, likely to put a damper on the co-working trend. So co-working, you're usually leasing on a month-to-month basis, and when you have uncertain economic times, the thought has always been that those people will that work in co-working outfits, that they will draw back and either work from Starbucks. That's not an option here, but they would possibly work from home and cancel those leases. So it's very volatile. I would look for that trend. Market players are very curious of the long-term impact of COVID-19, and if it will have a negative impact on demand for office space in general, as people get used to working from home, and some figuring out that they like it, and that it's maybe even more productive or more convenient for them. I think it'll have a marginal impact personally, but we are able to wait. We can wait and see, right? But I think it'll have a marginal impact because a lot of people still like coming to the office, getting into a different environment, getting into a focused environment with a team they enjoy collaborating with in person and having that interaction with. So that won't be for everybody, but I think for the most part, office is fine. Maybe see marginal effects long term of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next up, industrial. Limited adverse impact to date. Most tenants still up and running as essential services. Rent is still being paid in large part, and some tenants are doing more business than ever, specifically distribution, people in the supply chain that are assuming they're not getting skipped out of the supply chain, but people, businesses and facilities that are housing some of the goods that are in high demand at the moment. Hospitality is hit hard. Hotels, low occupancy, the right sizing staff, trying to stay operational as best as they can. Self-storage, limited adverse impact on existing tenants so far. Much like multifamily, but to a lesser degree, expect for April 1st through April 10th there to be a more direct adverse impact on self-storage owners as those rents come due and people that have been let go or lost their job are questioning their need for additional expenses like self-storage. New leasing has stalled as people are on lockdown. Land, obviously limited adverse impact to date. New developments, projects on hold temporarily. They're kind of put on pause right now, not dead. Buyers' timelines have lengthened. So hopefully this gives you a brief look at what's going on right now as of Wednesday, March 25th at 8 a.m. Because things are changing rapidly. Keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay on offense, okay? Even though you're locked in your house, doesn't mean you have to be, doesn't mean you have to contract. The time is now to expand. Go out there, grow your business, check on your people, check on your clients, check on your customer base, and show up. Show up. Thanks, everyone.